What a black man. Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. This is No More Water. Fire next time. I have an interesting title tonight. It's called talks about how black men don't get any respect, even though he's in a situation where people compliment him and then turn around and disrespect him at the same time. I say I say this because over the weekend was the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March, and there were two events I went to on Saturday and Sunday. And at each event, I heard black men get complimented and then torn apart by the same people. They'll start off complimenting him and then end up tearing him apart. I heard only one speech that was a very good speech, and that was by former East St. Louis Mayor Deborah Powell. She gave a very good speech, but the rest of them, their speech was, I didn't care much for it. They would get up, they would talk about the Million Man March, they would compliment black men. They would talk, yeah, but you need to do this, you need to start doing it, you need to stop this and stop that. Who the hell you tell a black man what to do? Especially black women, you need to straighten yourselves up. Because look, when people give black women their accolades, and they tell say, well, black women, a lot of black women going to college. Well, a lot of black men are too in trade school. But you don't have to go to college to get a high paying job. But look, back to what I was saying. When people give black women their accolades, they don't turn around and talk about the ones who are not doing well, because most black women aren't doing well. They don't talk about the ones not going to college, the ones who were having babies after baby by different men and having babies by the same men. You don't talk about them. You stick to the ones who you have something good to say about. But when it comes to black men, you can't just compliment him and let that be it. 30th anniversary of the Million Man March. That's just like coming to somebody's birthday party and anniversary and start talking against them. That's not the time or place for that. You want to talk about the Million Man March? Talk about that. Why you got to talk about what are you doing now? What are black women doing besides ruining the black community? You've raised these emotional, care about no one men because of you. For many times, the father, the reason he's not in the kid's life. You don't have time to keep messing around with you. He got his life to live too. But look, still, they talked about the men so bad, and the men did it too. You know why? Because have, many of them have been under this feminist ideology for so long until they've embraced it. Like I mentioned about how many black people have been under this white supremacist ideology for a long time. So many black people have embraced it. They've embraced the white supremacist ideology because it's what they're used to. And many black men have embraced the black feminist ideology because that's what he hear most of the time. I tell you why. Most of them, many of them, 80% are raised by a female, going by statistics. Okay, she talks to him, meaning most of them, black women, y'all don't really raise children, you bully them up. That's why they become so violent when they grow up. Okay, he been yelled out, cussed out, and talked to any kind of way by his mother and the females in his family. Then he go to school. He's got a female teacher. She's not that kind to him. He really don't get under a male supervision till maybe he get to middle school. Because a lot of men don't want to be teaching to the little children because of about accusations that may come up. So he's been hearing feminist ideology most of his life. He began to think like the women, saying the same type of things you say. So that's why the men spoke the same way. Say something good about the Million Man March, how the brothers was together. But it's always that but come behind. But when you talk about these black women, it don't be no but come behind it. You just talk about the good ones. You don't bring the bad ones up. They they said and they just most of the conversation about the men was negative, which most conversation about black men are negative. But black men need to take back over our society because women are ruining it. Feminism has ruined the black community. I don't care how angry you get about it, I can prove it. When black men was running things, we were benefiting. What wins have the black community made since feminism taken hold back in the late 70s, early 80s? What gains have black people made? Our population decreased. It fluctuates up and down. But we were at 50 million at one time. Now we're down to 43. 28 million of our babies was aborted in that period. And the majority of black men are not. You say all these men right there having all these babies, most of them are not. Most black men are single and childless because many of them just tired. He don't deal with women. He's just not marrying you. And he's just not going around here having babies by any woman. You will find more single black men without children than you will single black women. All the statistics are in our favor. is in men's favor and not in yours. Just your mouth and your emotions is in your favor. We used to have a program, but there still is a program called Male Environment. I used to go and record it for them sometimes. Every now and then, it's called Male Environment because it's showing the black boys and men ideology from the male perspective because most of them were so used to hearing the female perspective. But what happened was every now and then a woman would come in there and sit in the meeting. But y'all just tell them what men think. Yeah, this is a male environment meeting. That's the problem. All they've heard all their lives is the female perspective. And we're trying to present them the male perspective. Sometimes, sometimes they have to put the women out. They came in there clowning so want people to do things their way. Why would you come into a male environment meeting and tell them that they shouldn't be telling the boys and the men things from the male perspective? See how stupid that is? But look, who has ruined black women's lives? It haven't been black men. It's been white men. When it comes to those, you notice how black women never criticize white men, never speak against them unless he just does something to her personally. And she'll talk about what he did. She won't talk about white men. But one black man does something to her, she'll trash every black man on the planet. Black women do not criticize men of other races. They only criticize black men. Over 300,000 black women lost government jobs. Did black men do that? Have you heard black women say anything about the white men? What if black men was responsible for 300,000 black women losing their jobs? They wouldn't stop talking about them. Because y'all don't criticize white men, only black men. It makes no difference if he's a thug or businessman, a polished businessman. He still don't get any respect. Because if he's a thug, usually them the ones you had the babies by. If he's a polished businessman who's articulate, good posture, clean cut, you're going to accuse him of being a homosexual. That's why he have to end up with a white woman or some other kind of woman. Because all the black women think he's a homosexual. Then when they see him with them, he went in time to get a little money, go get him one of them women. But you thought he was a homosexual. Make up your mind. You want the black man or you don't. You never criticize a white man. You criticize black men all day long on social media. Then put up a picture of a white man. He's so cute. He's so fine. I always had a crush on him. And they can't stand you. You're motel material to them. Because if they could stand your black man, wouldn't be able to get one of you. Because y'all know you don't like black men. You'd rather have one of them. They just don't want you. So, but because you can't say nothing good about us on our day, you still tore us apart. All the black men, I was so proud to see our black men. I love black men. They're just talking about everything he's not doing right. What are you doing right? You're not doing anything right. You can't get married because nobody wants you. They just want you not for marriage. Because they know the marriage is going to last 5 years and then you're going to be ready to move on. 90% of marriages among black people, the woman filed for divorce. All the women, they been made, he was abused. No, black men has the lowest rate of abuse of women. I know y'all don't want to believe that, but look at the statistics. Black men are the least abused. What happens is you hit him and he hit you back. You lost the fight, and then you call it abuse. And then and when they file for divorce, it's not. They don't say that it was because of abuse, irreconcilable differences, no fault. See, before no fault divorce, people didn't get divorced like that because before no fault divorce, a woman when she got divorced, she left with what she came with, and the children went to the man. But now everything's in the woman's favor. She'll get the house, she'll get most of the money, the children, even though father has been shown to be the better parent because men are usually the better parent. When children used to get abused, they thought it was the man doing it, found out it was a woman. But he automatically got accused. When y'all talk about us so bad on Million Man March Day, that was a shame. The only person who gave a good speech was Dr. Deborah Powell. She gave a very excellent speech. The rest of them complimented black men and then turned around and talked against them. I mean, couldn't even talk good. Like I said, it's like coming to somebody's birthday party, anniversary, and talking against them on that day. That's not the time or place for that. Can't get no respect if you're a thug or you're a polished businessman. You get no respect from black women. Like I said, the thug may get a little more respect. He may he may get a little more respect. He may get a baby from you, a few babies from you. While the polished businessman, like I said, he get accused of being a homosexual because he articulates and have good polish, good posture. But he's not gonna get black man not gonna get any respect from black women. You think black men like white women? No, they don't. You know what they like? They don't get with white women or other women because they don't like black women. They get with those other women because of the way they treat them. I remember when I was a little boy coming up, and they would say, when they would see a black man with a white woman, you would hear the black woman say, "Oh, he just with her for nice treatment." And I started thinking one day, and I asked one of my aunts to say, well, why come he ain't get nice treatment from a black woman? She didn't know what to say. She never did answer me. You see, it's the treatment. Now, black women will give with white men because of race, because he's white, because she's angry with black men over stuff that she caused, really. And then because white friends I have tell me, say, every time they talk with black women, they tell them how much she hate, they tell the white man how much she hates black men. And regardless of what y'all think, black men don't go to white women to talk about y'all. Y'all go to white men and talk about us. Most black men I know with women of other races, they won't even let those women speak against black women. They won't. But you let the white man speak against black men. I know they tell me. And I know white men come to black men and say, why black women always trying to get with us just cause we white? I hope they cut it out. That's what they say about y'all. They know you want them just because they white. You even get with why is all these known white races walking around with and had babies by black women? Why would you get with a racist, known racist? You have black women having babies by Klansmen, white nationalists, segregationists, having babies by them. And they wouldn't rape either. They didn't rape you and get all those babies. No, you was getting with those men just because they were white. But you tear us apart every chance you get. Then let a black man say something about you. You ready to go to war. He bashing black women because you used to one-way aggression. I mean, what y'all did on Million Man March Day was a crime. Talked about every speech I heard a black woman give, except for Dr. Deborah Powell. It says it first start off talking good and then ripped into black men. And most of the stuff you say is not true. Do you know that most of the stereotypes about black men in the last 50, 60 years, the negative, false stereotypes about black men, was not put out there by white people, but by black women? Now, what negative stereotype, false, negative stereotype has black men put out there about you? None. Look on social media. Look at the pictures you put up about black men and the ones they put up about you. And see if it's the same. The black men are posting pictures of beautiful, fine black women. Talking about the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. African women killing it and all of that. Putting up shapely, beautiful, fine black women, even though we know that's not the truth. Most of you are fat or obese. But still, they put up pictures of beautiful, fine black women. What do the black women do? Turn up and get an AI picture of some black man in a dress or some compromising position, some effeminate acting black man, and put all that kind of stuff up. And I don't know why black men keep being fair to you. Because a person not fair to me, I'm not going to keep being fair to them. I quit being fair to you a long time ago. To the point where I don't even care anymore. And most black men, like a lot of them, don't even care to even be bothered with you anymore. Moved on. Went on about their business. Got time to keep playing around with folks. I know I don't. How do you, let me put my mic up, son. But don't understand. How do you do right by me? I got to leave you alone, which I have a long time ago. But that, if I see, I recorded that for someone else, but if it was really my video, I'll put it up and show you how ridiculous those black women talked about black men on Million Man March Day. Like I said, all except for one, Dr. Deborah Powell. She gave a very exciting speech. She tore down no one. Hers was uplifting, but she usually does give a good speech. But the rest of you, even the men, that was a low down dirty shame. And it's nothing new. It always happens that way. You can never uplift a black man without coming with some buts. You need to do this and that behind it. Stop worrying about what black men need to do. Women, worry about what you all need to do. You haven't done a very good job at anything. Black men had the black people's affairs rocking and rolling. What have you accomplished in the last 50, 60 years for black people? I'm not talking about your individual accomplishment. Black men were accomplishing things for black people until feminism took hold. Every time he said he did something, he losing his job. The court's ruling against him. He just left it alone. Let the women run it. And look at where it's gotten us. We haven't had a win since feminism took over. Feminism has gotten all into the Democratic Party, and it's just about destroyed. They're getting their clocks clean. I'm gonna tell you what feminist position do. It boasts up homosexuality, promotes women and put down men. You know, most people with, you could tell are feminists, people with feminist ideology. All they do is everything. Nothing about a man is any good. If he's masculine, it's toxic. But at the same time, a female who acts masculine is called strong when she's not supposed to be masculine. But a man who's supposed to be masculine, his masculinity is called toxic. See the switch? And then, let me tell you this, have you ever been to the funeral of an older lady? I live stream a lot of funerals. You know one thing I know about the funerals of those old ladies? The way they describe those old ladies. If that was a man, they say, and they'd be boasting about it. She's just strong. She did this. She did that. But if they describe the old man that same way, they say he was an idiot. But with the woman, it makes her strong. With the man, he'd be an idiot. The description they give some of those old women at their funeral. Like they were pushy, trying to boss everybody around, interfering in everyone's life. They call a man an idiot. But to the women, it made them strong. When a man is masculine, it's toxic. When a woman is masculine, it's strong. They're trying to effeminate these men. A lot of them go along with that boop. I almost said something. A lot of them go along with that mess. You walk around here, let these women talk to you in a kind of way. Watch the average black woman and black man when they're together. I'm not talking about no Trump day. Watch when the black man and black woman together. Watch their body language. Hers is all aggressive and he's more submissive. They've gotten tired. They just like they've just surrendered. I haven't. And most of the men I know haven't. But not bring that mess to us. And they don't bring it to me, I check them quick. You men need to start being men again. Quit letting these women run you. Quit letting them talk to you any kind of way. And you just take it. I know you used to because your mother, your teachers, and all that talk to you any kind. Just by every black woman you've been around. Everywhere you go, they're talking to you any kind of way. But you don't have to take it. I'm going to show you the video I showed you the other day. Show you again about a black man. And little Green got the screenshot him. How the black woman stood up. She was at an ICE hearing for her son. And the black man and the difference in them. Watch this. No, it's not going to play. See if the man play. No. Neither one of them are going to play. I should have checked them before I came on. I'm going to have to re-download them. But look, the woman, she got all in the man's face. Challenged them, want to fight. They didn't do anything to her. But you know what? Black women know they can do that and get away with it. But most women know that. See, even during slavery, the black women used to talk back to master, talk back to the slave drivers, and talk back to them and say, nothing happened. All them doing Jim Crow, they could do that and nothing happened. But if a black man did it, he may have gotten killed. So black men learn to be more strategic with things. See, most black women tend to think if they could tear you off, that solved the problem. No, it didn't. Just mean you ran your mouth. A lot of times didn't even know what you were talking about. Well, I'm just tired of this, man. They really threw us under the bus on Million Man March Day. The black women did. I mean, just talked about black men bad. And he's the one that had everything moving before you all took over with all those feminism getting in the way. All y'all did was get in the way, and we've been stagnant ever since. Jesse Jackson, Roy Ennis, and all of them, they they one got things rolling. They got they the ones who got built the voting machine. Really. Jesse Jackson, Roy Ennis, Julian Bond, Andrew Young, and they went through different organizations. They all worked together. What organization do the black women go through? The Deltas? You all don't have any kind of organization when it comes to voting. You just run your mouths and try to tell other people what they ought to do. When it was said that Kamala Harris was having trouble with the black male vote, why come you all didn't try to do something about it? You know why she was having trouble with it? Lot of black men, it was mostly the young black men, they felt disenfranchised. Everybody, you talked about, every demographic was brought into Kamala's campaign except for black men. Even during her rally, you didn't see any. You saw everyone standing behind her, but except the black man. And they never tried to change that optics. Trump did have some stepping fetches standing back there. I don't know if they're paid was what, but he had some black men back there. He did mention black men. See, you never tried to do anything about it. That being Obama's campaign, he knew he was having trouble with black women. They'd have done something about that. They say Obama had people stationed in places you didn't wouldn't even known of. He had the groundwork. Kamala didn't have it. They was running that sister girl movement. She wasn't, but the people around her was. See, a lot, black women gave that perception. You know what? And what one of the problems was the message the Democrats had. Let's be honest. Even the people who are Democrats and liberals, or as they that left and right, that's white folk stuff. Let's just say it, people on the right. Even many of them are tired of hearing about homosexuals and trans and all of that. Because those are not nationalities or races. They're not a race or a nationality. Just say the disenfranchised groups. And don't stick to race, nationality. I can understand you saying the Latinos and people of color, and most of all, black people. Not just no black women and black men, black people. Because black women, y'all need to stop separating yourself from us. Because when your head get cracked, you wonder why nobody's come running. You're not under any man's burden. You don't want to be under a man's burden. But when something happens, you want to be his burden. He got his own woman and family to protect, not you. We're going out here trying to box with folks all the time. But look, you you disenfranchise yourself when you try to bring up be everything for everybody. That's what the Democrats was doing. You ask a MAGA person or Republican, why'd you vote for Trump? They give you a true word answer. You ask a Democrat why did they vote, they giving you a laundry list. They make the message too complicated, trying to appeal to everybody. Trump and the Republicans just did the deal to one person. They just brought a racist, white supremacist ideology, and that's who they appealed to. Why they appeal to some black people, I don't know. White nationalist ideology, why it appeal to some black people, I don't know. But you gonna always have some of your people do that. Go against their own interests. Like white people, Latinos went against their interests. But I say that to say You can tell when feminists take hold of something. Men are made to look like they're nothing. It promotes women and promotes homosexuality. Feminists, the feminist movement actually helps promote homosexuality. Anytime a feminist, when she got a problem with a man, the first thing she do is tie to his masculinity, like he's some type of tutti frutti or something, because she mad at him about something. That's what feminists do. Everything a man does is tied to his sexuality. But what's tied to yours? I see women walking down the street holding hands, dressed like men, bent over the other one, that like she pumping her in the butt. I see women dancing with each other, rubbing out on each other boob. Woman got her naked butt out there with a thong on, twerking, the other woman spanking her on the butt. Now what's more gayer than that? That look like homosexuality to me. But it's always the men. When statistics shows that there are percentage wise, there are many more black female homosexuals than males. You know where you all got that from? I told you before. White people, remember years ago they said they're gonna make black the new gay? You know what they was doing it for? It was white nationalists did that. And you all fell for it. But here's what happened. So many white women were getting with black men. So they wanted to make black men look bad. Put it out that he's homosexual. If he's not a homosexual, he's on the down low. He messing with men and women. And that down low thing started from this guy named, what's his name, Deep White or whatever his name. He was on Oprah. And he was a man who was married and fooling with men on the side. And black women just picked that up and ran away with it. Like all black men doing that. But see what happened was when the white men tried to make it seem like black men were homosexuals, white women didn't believe it. They didn't faze them. But the black women picked it up and ran away with it because you don't like us anyway, and any negative thing about us, you're going to take hold of that. And that's why every time you look up, black women trying to accuse a black man of being a homosexual. Especially if he's successful and polished. Then you wonder why you can't get him. Why other women get him. You thought he was a homosexual. That's why you still with Pookie and Ray Ray. Because they fine and masculine to you. But I'm going to tell you, I just don't have no more hope for black men and black women. I don't personally. You are not going to do right by us. All the things that have held you back, black men didn't do it. White man even brutalized his own woman. He fired more white women. See, DEI benefit white people, not black people. He fired many more white women than he did black women because they benefited the most. He fired white women in the millions. But you know what happened? You don't hear white men blaming white men. They're blaming the government. They maybe blame Trump, that one white man. But if that happened and black men were responsible for it, black women would be trashing black men all over the place. You wouldn't just blame the president, you'd blame every black man in this country. You'd be trashing us all over the place because you look for every opportunity to do it. But you see white women, when they say about the men give us more, give us less money for the same work, black men are not doing that. That's white men doing that. But do you hear black women saying white men are giving us less money for the same work? Now what if that was a black man doing that? Black women would be ripped. Black women would let you know it's a black man. When they stop Roe versus Wade, you know what happened? You know, a lot of black women was on social media attacking black men like he had something to do with it. When black men wasn't against it. A lot of them didn't want to have the baby with you anyway. He just wanted some. He didn't mean to have a baby with you. But what happened is they were attacking black men. I had to tell some of them, most men weren't against abortion. 80% of men backed Roe versus Wade. You know who was the biggest person against abortion? White women, who's supposed to be your comrade. If you went by any abortion clinic that was going over there on the land, I used to come by there maybe 3 times a week. The only people I saw there picketing the abortion clinic, it was always white women. Sometimes you'll see a few old white men, very old white men, senior citizens, out there with them, but it was mostly white women. Not no black men or black women. Maybe you've seen some, but I haven't. And if it was so a whole lot of black men and black women picketing, I would have saw some at some time. So even if you saw some, they couldn't have been that many. If I never seen any. But see, one of the problems is, they was trashing black men over abortion. And you know what? Trump did that through the Supreme Court. He said he was going to do it. He said it, and he did just what he said he was going to do. He's going to stop abortion. Because if abortion was like the Civil Rights Bill. It came up for vote every 4 years. It was automatic yes. And it would have been a yes this time. But Trump went through the Supreme Court and did it because he knew Congress was going to vote it in. You say, is men telling you to do with your body, he telling you to do with that fetus. That's what he's talking about, the fetus. He cares less about you. You do everything else you want to do with your body. And it's not, when you get the government involved in something, they can give it and they can take it. Women was always getting abortions. They just wanted government-sponsored abortions. Because when when things come up for vote, Latinos can't just vote on Latinos issues, men on men issues, women on women issues. It don't work like that. Congress gonna vote on it. It just happen to be mostly men and some women in it. But it can't just women vote on women issues. You're not getting any special treatment. You're being treated like everyone else. So you're thinking like white people now, that when you get treated like everyone else, you're being mistreated. Well, that's just the way it is. But the reason I say that is to make the point that no matter what a white man does, black women don't criticize white men. But if you turn that around, you be all over black man about stuff. Why y'all love white men so much and hate black men so much? You never criticize white men. You never show hatred towards white men. But you do it to black men all day long. And they can't stand you, really. They see you as a piece of meat, dark meat to take to the motel. Because they take plenty of you there. Believe me, I know. Arabs, Asian, they take you out to the motel. See, black men has more interracial relationships. Black women have more interracial sexships. Y'all screw more interracially than we do. Because other women like black. Do you know there was a poll taken And it says, and I know the last 2 nights I've been on this sort of thing, but that's the way it's been. For the last couple of shows, but it said the most desirable men and the least desirable men. The black man and the white man ran neck and neck as the most desirable men. And so, of course, the white man would be up there because anytime you seen this one running thing, and it was more white people they polled. No, white people, they polled more white people. But they ran neck and neck, and they said they surprised that the black man. They're not just any black man. They're talking about black American men pulled right along with white men from around the world because they say surprise he's even in there because usually when you're seen as on the bottom, you don't even make the poll. But you hear the black man in the number one position along with the white man. Tied with him. Look up the statistic yourself. Why is that? Black man desired by everyone except the black woman. Oh, we know these ON words. No, you don't. You just know what you think you know. White women know more about black men than black women do. Because they try to find out. They're the black male study class at the college. Because, they understand the black American male. It was full of white women, Asian women, every race of woman except black women. When the black woman in the class. They asked the women, said, well, why are you all studying about black men? They said, we like black men. And we want to learn about them. Wasn't a black woman in the class? Oh, we already know. No, you don't. When you ask a black woman, what does a man like in a woman? She says all the wrong things. She described what a woman think a man would want in her. And be so far off base. Matter of fact, she described what a woman would want in a man. Instead of what a man would want in a woman. Because she don't try to find out. If you tell her, I saw a post that set up on Facebook that said that a woman with natural hair. And it said, this is the kind of hair that black men like. Every woman who came on ripped black men to shreds. We don't care what men like. We don't care nothing about these men, what they like. We don't fix ourselves up to please them. We do to please ourselves, to feel good about ourselves. Do you know how stupid that sounds? If a man said, we don't care what women like, we do things to please ourselves. We're not thinking about what they like. We want to feel good about ourselves. You think he was crazy? What if a man said, I'll be masculine for the right woman? See how crazy that sounds? When a woman say all the time, I'll be feminine for the right man. If you got to talk about being feminine, just face it. That's not you. You're just a masculine woman. Cause you can't learn to be feminine once you done got upgrown. That's something you're grown into. See, men don't have to talk about being masculine. Women talk about masculine more than men do. You don't hear men talking about masculine. You know why? He's just that. It's not something he talks about. If a man got to talk about being masculine, he's not masculine. I'm a learn how to be masculine. That's just something that's innate in him. And if you got to learn how to be masculine when you're 20 years, I'm sorry, if a woman has to learn how to be feminine and she's 20 years old, don't waste your time with her. She's just not feminine. Or she'd already have that in her. Remember when they used to have charm school and gentleman school? They need to bring that back. One thing I was pleased with, I saw one time with these girls, But they may have been 10, 11 years old, and they was in a place that I was at. One girl bent over to get stuff. The other girl said, "You don't, a lady don't do that. You don't bend over with your butt out in there." She showed her how to stand next to the item, stoop down with her knees, and pick it up. Not bend all over all our butt in there, but that's what the average woman is gonna do because they don't know how to be ladies. And I tell you, I've lost all hope. I really have, because that's what I saw Saturday and Sunday. The women really disrespected the men on Million Man March Day. You turn around and say you love black men, then turn them down after you say it. We appreciate black men. No, you don't. You talked about those men like a dog after you said how much you appreciate them and all that. You start ripping them apart. Like I said, the only person who gave a good speech was Dr. Deborah Powell. She gave a really enlightening speech. And what makes it so bad, the men, like I said, the men have gotten so used, caught up in so much feminism. A lot of them talk just like the women. Oh, the woman is the strongest thing on earth. No, you're not. Quit letting people fill your head up with that kind of stuff. I heard a man say that one time. I took him to school on it. Oh, you hear all people all on the internet. Yeah, life, everything came, life, the black woman created life. All life came from her. That's a lie. Life don't come from women. Birth comes from women. Women give birth, men give life. Life comes from the seed. And they leave the black man completely out of everything. Black women have done it, and everybody, they leave the black man, like the black woman produce life on her own. You can't produce, black women don't produce nothing. You give birth. The only production you may do the baby growing in your body. And now they getting ready to make all. They say they could have had sex with some artificial wombs doing that. Man, get him a robot womb, have a baby. Get one of your donated eggs. And you'll sell them if the price is right. You free a lot of them, you're freezing them anyway. I just lost all hope in the black male female relationships. It may be some hope, but I'm not trying to find it. I've lost all hope in it. First they said these men, they're afraid of marriage. When actually, black males have a higher marriage rate than black women. Did you know that? Black males have a much higher marriage rate than black women. He wants to get married. He just can't find anyone to marry. There's a difference in having someone you deal with and someone you can marry. Let me take a quick break and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Well, look, I'm not trying to just talk down anymore. I'm just talking facts. You all know what I'm saying is true. Black men don't, women don't have any respect for black men, and it's not because of what he's done. Because you know why? Black men are judged by the worst of us. Black women are judged by the best of you. When you talk about black women and any accomplishments by black women, you stick on those accomplishments. If you talk about accomplishment of black men, you mention the accomplishment, then start going down to the bottom of the barrel. But he need to do this. And what about you got these other men who done, what they got to do with the men whose accomplishment you're talking about? You didn't do that with the women. You stuck with their accomplishments. They do it every time. They go after the worst black men and the best black women. Oh, look at them. I heard women say, black women making more money than black men. No, you're not. No woman on earth is out earning her men. All those degrees you got, black men still out earn you. You know why? The jobs black women normally got didn't pay a lot of money. You have to get a good degree to get a good job, and you got high student loans to pay back that comes with it, with the man don't have. A black man can go get a job. The type of job black men get, factory, warehouse, and different other jobs, he still out earn you, even with your degree. Look at the statistics. Black women is more educated. That's not true. You went through K through 12 like everyone else. That's what's your education. College is not education, it's training. Just a 4-year training school. You spend 2 years learning a lot of BS, declare your major when you become a junior, and that's when you really get trained. And most black women are not going to college. You don't have degrees, but you focus on the one who do. But when it comes to black men, then a lot of black men go to trade school, make good livings at that. Then now that a lot of the black women have been fired by the government, we need to start making our own jobs. Like talking about like the black man do, and you call him a hustler. Most black men who work for themselves are not doing anything illegal. They're not. Matter of fact, there's not that many black drug dealers around anymore. Black people really not using all those drugs they used to use. But you don't hear people reporting that. You used to see drug dealers everywhere. You don't see them that much anymore. But that don't get reported. The good stuff about us don't get reported. Because we don't even report it. We focus on the bad stuff. Yeah, but like I said, I just lost all hope because I don't even try anymore with black women myself. I stopped a long time ago. I saw it just as a waste of time. No matter how nice you treat them, they still try to talk to you any kind of way. Listen to the average black woman and black woman talk. Talk so loud, you don't have to be eavesdropping. The man got to just about act a fool and clown and had a woman laughing before she'll talk to him. These men I know who are sensible men. They're like a damn fool when they get around women just to try to make her laugh so she'll talk to him. If I gotta go through all that, I'd never talk to you. I'm not gonna degrade myself just to talk to you. Oh, I say, oh, you old, you bald head, don't nobody call. Yes, they do too. Maybe not you, but they do, because they like me for who I am too. So other women don't just go by looks. Black women, damn, they want the man to be prettier than you. You want him to look better than you. Because I know a lot of women years ago, they would tell you, they've been married to a man all their life. They spent a lifetime together and say, when I first met him, I wasn't even interested in him. Those usually end up being the best mates. The ones you wouldn't. They've been like that with women who I wasn't interested in when I first met them. They end up being some of the best women that I cared for the most because you wasn't choosing them just by how they turned you on. I've been accused of not. Oh, he's not romantic. I'm sure not. The hell with romance. Romance don't benefit a man. It just benefit a woman. And see, a lot of you women, the reason you can't stay married, you looking for a long romance. That's what you think marriage is. A long romance. And when that feeling is over, you feel the marriage is over. Because you filing for 90 to 95% of the divorces. The few marriages that you get into don't last. So you're going to be married for about 4 or 5 years. Why even waste your time? It's a waste of time even getting married. And most men stick it out. See, they talk about the men cheating. But if less than 20% of the men are making 80% of the black babies, and you wonder why talking about why the man cheat? Y'all messing around with the same man. See, women don't care about cheating. They just care about getting cheated on. Because they'll go messing around with some other woman's man. She don't want nobody to mess with hers. So you're not morally superior. Matter of fact, that's kind of degenerate. Like, I mess with your man, but I just want nobody to mess with mine. And what people don't tell you about, I'm going to get into it. Do you know there are a lot of men who were married and his wife had children by another man while they was married, yet he still stayed and raised those children like they were his own? I wouldn't do it, but I know some men who's done it. Oh, let me cut this headphone off. I can hear blowback. But I know some men who've done it. More than one. But see, we don't talk about stuff like that. And do you know? See, the laws are making a lot of men really don't want to get married because the woman take everything you got. Guy I knew got divorced. The woman got the house, got the best car, the children. Now, her and her boyfriend that she divorced him over, living in the house. She waited till the mortgage was paid. Living in the house, and he was sleeping in his car. I don't think that was me. I don't think that house would be standing anymore. Now I just tell you about me. I don't think that car would have been running anymore. And you wonder why a man don't want to get married, but really you all don't want to get married. You just want a boo and a baby daddy, because more men are married. Black men are married than women. Women at a high percentage. And you want to be a lifelong girlfriend or fiance. Date somebody for 15 years. A 15-year date? What do y'all take dating to be? Date with somebody, you take somebody out to a movie. Take somebody out to dinner, to a concert. And y'all like dating is marriage. Everything been miscued since you all took over. Fewer marriages, more imprisoned people, ruined community. The voting machine has just about been dismantled. What have you all accomplished? Men accomplish things. Women help compliment him. They always say, every time they talk about a man who has accomplished, he got a good woman by his side. That man would accomplish that stuff he accomplished. That woman didn't have nothing to do with it. I know men that was doing well long before the woman got with him. He even built him an empire. I know a lot of pretty well off men because of the work I do. And he done built him an empire. That woman been with him for a year. They're like she responsible, but she been by his side helping him. He's had that stuff for 20 years and she been with him for a year. But he couldn't have got it without her. She just got in on a good thing. See, we got everything mixed up in women's favor. And we just about this county black men. And I'm gonna show you how to tell you about how they rate women. They go after the best, and on the man, they go after the worst. When I was watching Don Lemon, and he was talking to the people who voted for the man who voted for Trump and the women who voted for Kamala. He went and talked to the man was standing with some shorts on, hanging all down, some little thing on his head, just like some hood dude. The man could barely make a sentence. Oh, Trump, I like Trump. He couldn't articulate anything. You know, when he got ready to go talk to the women, he went on Spelman College campus and talked to some Spelman alumni women. Now, who do you think is going to articulate their position better? That's why I say the lowest man, the highest women. That's what we use to compare. We talk about women and their accomplishment and leave it at that. We talk about men and their accomplishment, then you start going to the bottom of the barrel, talking about the men who not doing nothing. All women are not, the majority of black women are not doing well. Why do you think they want a man to pay their electric bill just because they go on a date? They're not doing well, but you don't hear people bring them up when you talk about a woman who has accomplished something. Going back to what I was saying about the man with the children, do you know that if right now, if your wife go cheat on you and have a baby by another man, by law, the husband is still responsible. He's still the husband law by responsibility. You know, the husband responsibility by law. Because under the law in most states, I can see all over the United States, but in most states, under the law, any child born within the marriage is the husband's responsibility. That means your wife can go cheat on you and bring a baby home. You're legally responsible for that baby. Why would a man want to get married in the United States? Why would he want to? She can take all your stuff, but you know they always wait till that mortgage paid though. And then you're gonna get blamed for the breakup. I told you one time I was at somewhere in these people. A woman came there talking, her and her friends, you know, bringing all that old drama to the event we were at, and said her and her husband gonna get divorced. Now she didn't want. They talking about the women. Talking, oh girl, help him and I said, nah, I want to stay with my husband. I don't want no divorce. They said, well, was he cheating? She said, yeah. Ah, see all these men do is cheat. That's all they ever do is cheat. She said, no, he didn't cheat as I cheated. Girl, what'd he do to make you cheat? See what I'm talking about? Everything goes against the man. So why would he want to get married? Most people I guess just want something they can easily get out of. So why would he want to get married? So you can take all this stuff once he get it paid for? I just had to say because what I saw Saturday and Sunday at the Million Man March commemoration. What was the purpose of even letting the women get up and talk? They talked about the men so bad. But one thing is even worse, even the men talked about men bad. Like I said, they've been under the feminist ideology also. In the last 50, 60 years, that's all you've heard is the feminist ideology in the black community. And it's ruined the black community. Men need to take back control of our community because these women has ruined it. Oh, and can't nobody tell them nothing. They can say anything they want to you. You can't tell them nothing. I was in the store one day. These two women walked by. One said, "You got some big feet, skinny legs, and some big feet. Oh, your feet so big I can't get by." Now, why she don't even know me. Now, what if I said something like that to that woman? She'd be hollering and cussing all over that place. But yet she gonna come to me with that and don't even know me. I've had women say, if I say, "Well, you fat with little feet. You got fat legs and little feet." That would have been World War III. But it's one way aggression. And I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I moved on. And I suggest any black man who can't get you treat a black woman right, it seems like the better you treat her, the worse she treats you. Maybe time to move on. We can move on, they can't. Because other women like us, other men don't really like them. Not in numbers. I'm not talking about no exceptions. I'm talking about I go by statistics in the majority. Because they even talk about you. We had gotten fights with, I lived in LA with Latinos because all they wanted to do was talk against black women. And then they find out later that the Latino talk about the black woman until the black women come around. Find out the black women the one and screwed the man. Then he come back to the Latinos and talk about it. Same way happened with white men. And it's the way you carry yourself. That's what most people don't like about you. But from now on, men, when we have a day to ourselves, let's leave the women out of it and leave these simps who think like feminists out of it. Just look at Father's Day when they come around. Look at all the insulting stuff they say. Men just say Happy Mother's Day and leave it at that. They gotta turn Father's Day into a big joke. Cause you know why? They think about them men they had babies by. But not the men who right there with their children. Because even stats say black men make the best fathers and the best parents. Look it up. And wasn't no black men who wrote it either. If somebody else write it, you believe it. Black man wrote it, you wouldn't believe it. The black men are the most engaging and loving fathers. And usually the better parent. Look at the black man when he got kids in the store with him. Is he yelling at them, screaming at them, cursing at them like the mother do? I see a lot. The majority of women treat those kids bad when you see them out. I see them just hollering at the kids and cursing at them. The kids not doing nothing. Kids not doing nothing. The men take time out and explain stuff to the kids. She don't explain nothing. Tell them shut up talking to her. Now how do you think that kid gonna grow up behaving? If every time the kid do something you don't like, you hit him or whoop him. They gonna grow up anytime someone do something they don't like, they feel they have to physically punish them. That's why two black people can't get in an argument without it turning into a fight. Can't stick to the issue. They always, oh, you, him, him, so and so, calling each other names instead of sticking to the issue and never don't know how to calm things down. Just know how to escalate. Don't know how to de-escalate. Excuse me. And it seems like when one try to escalate, the other escalate. When one try to de-escalate, the other escalate more. Everybody say, I'm done. Like I say, I stick with black people on black issues. But when it comes to trying come to relationships, I'm done with that. I moved on. And see, men, I know people may criticize you, but you got a life to live. And all this about you're raised this, you give some, oh, he hate his mama. He just, you don't hear him saying that about Serena Williams, but they talk about the black man. Look, you got a life to live. And if you can't live that life with a black woman, it's time you move on. You can still love your people, helping your people causes. Some of the people who have helped in black causes, Arthur Ashe, he was married to a white woman. He helped black people a lot. Jomo Kenyatta, the founder of the nation of Kenya, he freed them from the French. He had a white wife. So sometimes you gotta live your own life. You can still help your people. If you gotta move on, you gotta move on. Cause you might have time to keep playing around. And those who want to stay race loyal, you do that. Because most men are the most race loyal of all um, races. Men are the most race loyal, not the women. It seems like the black women are, but it's mostly because the other men of other races don't care much for them. Because when that same poll I told you had black men at the top, when it came to the women, the black women, the black American woman was on the bottom, dead last. It's your attitude, the way you carry yourself. No man has time you want to fuss at him all day long, no matter how well he's treating you. That's why I say, men, don't let nobody shame you because you decide to move on. You can still love your people, but it just wasn't working out in your personal relationship. Because black people are not good at relationships, not even good at friendship. See, black people, I'll tell you what the difference is. As a people, we're probably the best people morally and consciously. I think black people here in the United States, as a people, it's sort of like the moral conscience of this world. We're the nicest people you could ever be around. But individually, we're hell to get along with. With white people individually, they're easy to get along with. They be just as nice and kind. Most black people haven't been mistreated by a white person. They've been mistreated by black people. Because white people are good on the personal level. That's why we're so opposite from each other. But as a people, they're the most diabolical people on the face of the earth. Whereas we as a people are the best people on the face of the earth. But on the personal level, we're diabolical. See the opposites? I just had to say about because that made me man March, I'd be honest with you. I really didn't like that. The way those black women and some of the black men. Just about every speaker except for Deborah Powell, she gave a good speech, but the rest of them came after the men. Turn black men down on what's supposed to be a day of honor. How can I have a day to honor you, your birthday or anniversary or something, and I'm gonna come there talking against you? What I think you need to be doing more. We all need to be doing more of something. You know the best way to build the black community? Take care of you and your family. Take care of you and your family. Because you cannot have a strong community without families. Not no baby mamas and daddies, boo shacking up. Families. Families buy homes. People shacking up don't buy homes. You need families. One of the most silliest things you can hear is people talking about helping, giving back to the community, helping to build the community, and don't even have a family. Build your family first. Because it's not your job to build a community. You can help if you want to, but that's not your job. That's not your mission. Your mission is men and women supposed to have families and reproduce. What you do for somebody else, you do just because you want to. Your first obligation is to your family. Let the city leaders run the city. You wasn't hired to do that. That's just like you have to help with crime. What can you do? If you get out there and shoot it out with them people, they gonna come get you. Probably let those folks go. I wasn't hired to fight crime. It's not my job. Police job. I can report crime. And remember when black people used to go to the police station and report crime, they treated you like you were the criminal. So a lot of black people have stopped reporting crime. See, they don't tell you about all that. It may be a little better now, but it used to be they treated black people bad when they went down to the police station. Trying to report a crime. Try to make you part of the crime. Well, how you know so much about it? I saw it. That's why. You're trying to act like you must be a part of it. But, I just said that to say that I don't see us building a black community. I haven't seen a black community yet, a black area that went down and was revitalized without the change of demographics, other people having to take over. It could happen, but I haven't seen it. When they said Menard Jackson and he became mayor of the first black mayor of Atlanta, but that wasn't a crumbling city. He just helped enhance it. And it wasn't a black area. The only way I can see East St. Louis coming back, we need to get some, like I said the other night, those people that went and got more plots of land to build their own community. Why don't you people come to these black cities with all this land? Buy some of that land and build your community in that city. Get the city's permission to gate it off if you want to. Gated communities is nothing new. And you can be around your own ethnic people. We may have to come to that because black cities are dying and trying to use the white model isn't helping any. As a matter of fact, my next show is going to be about economic growth, how to rebuild black community. Well, on my perspective, because what we do now is not working. And then and getting back to my subject, what black men and black women are doing now is not working. How can you get with a woman who's constantly telling you you're nothing? Certain arguments with you over stuff like a toilet seat. Reach your hand down there and pick it up just like I had to reach mine down there to let it up. Don't come arguing with me about no toilet seat. We got bigger and better things than that. Oh, you snore. Well, women snore, men don't do they complain. If it's a problem, it's not written in stone that you have to sleep in the same bed and same room together. Better wife, she snore, I just sleep in a different bedroom. We're still the same husband and wife, but you can't make a person stop snoring. You can't just talk about them and make fun of them and make them stop snoring. Some people just gonna snore. Some things you gotta get used to. Can't make people stop everything. Some things you just have to get used to. But but that was my subject tonight. Black men not gonna get respect no matter what we do. Not from black women. Black women not gonna. If you're a thug, well, you may get some respect then. Because most black women having babies by the same few losers. Because the baby ones having all these babies by this man. See, anytime a man go out and have 15 babies with 10 different women, that's not no cream of the crop. See, women like men that other women like. There been times women wouldn't pay me any attention till they saw me with another woman. And that's a bad formula. The whole formula, by the way, black women do things is off, and it's not going to lead to nothing but trouble. If you like somebody else's man, then you go out and have like him because you curious about what she got. But then you get with him, then when he cheat on you, oh, he's a cheater. That's how you got him. By helping them cheat on somebody else, you don't like when you don't care. Like I said before, most women don't care about cheating. They just don't want to get cheated on. That's what the problem is. You don't want to get cheated on. It was okay when you was helping him cheat on her, but you don't want somebody else helping him to cheat on you. And a man got babies all across town, he gonna cheat. Cause see when a person get used to having too many different people, they're not gonna stop just because they're with you. You can tell a person pretty decent because the man wasn't messing around with a lot of women even when he didn't have one. But a man not gonna have a different woman for every day of the week, and you think he's gonna get with you, and he's gonna cut that out. That's pipe dreams. That's pie in the sky thinking. That's a foolish way to think. See what's going on with my device. Yeah, that's a foolish way to think. He's not gonna let them other women go because he's with you. He may for a little while, but that's it. Most of the time, he never stops. If she's used to dealing with a lot of men, she gonna keep it up. And when she come to you with that stuff, oh, he's just a friend. Women don't look. You can hardly carry on a casual conversation with a black woman unless she's interested in you or wants something from you. I can do it with white women. You can see them somewhere, y'all have a casual conversation. Both of you go about your business. You can't do it with black women because she think you hitting on her. That's why most black women not gonna talk to you unless she's interested in you or wants something from you. So when you come to she come to you tomorrow, he's just a friend. Don't believe that. Because either she's interested in him or she wants something from him. But that's y'all will. I've lost faith. I moved on. And I'm not coming back. I'm getting ready to get out of here, but I just said that to say that I'm tired of disrespect black men gotta get all the time. No matter how. Look at this. He can be a thug and he can be a polished businessman. But I can guarantee you, the thug will get more respect than the polished businessman. Because the polished business, they see the ones on the left, they see them as baby making material. The one on the right, they see him as something to use for some money. And if he's articulate and polished, good posture, more than likely he's gonna get accused of being a homosexual. Then when you go get a white woman or something, you wanna talk about him then, but you could have had him, but you was around here calling him a homosexual. Neither will get any respect. But the one on the left may get some. But yeah, that May Man March thing really got to me because y'all women really disrespected men on that day. That's it. I saw numerous speakers on the panel, and even the men did it because they used to feminism. But one thing about it though, Dr. Deborah Powell gave a good speech. After the whole time, she gave a good speech. She's the only one. Now, the No Kings there, how many of you all participated in that? If you did, I don't know why, cause I'm not participating in it. They think I was gonna live stream because that's my job, but it was raining. I wasn't taking my equipment out there in the rain. I did a Million Man March, but these people who put the king in there got to get them out. I'm not getting involved in that stuff. Black people done left that alone. See, what a lot of people, a lot of people don't realize about black people. I'm gonna get on this subject for a minute. Black people stopped protesting after Michael Brown, Ferguson, in numbers. And by the time it got to George Floyd, it was almost non-existent because white people was running Black Lives Matter. They was doing those protests, not black people. Very few, if any. There was some protests that didn't have a black person in it. I know because I recorded one. Where there was black people on the stage talking. I turned around and shoot the audience. They said there was 600 people there. I couldn't find a black person. They had Black Lives Matter protests in all white cities. We appreciate white folks' help. But I'm just saying to show that people don't realize black people, it's not that they say we're not doing anything now. Black people stopped years ago, but people never noticed. Because they have this one mode of thinking about black people. Remember when they ran up in that a police station in Minnesota and burned it down and ran the cops out and burned it down? Those weren't black people. Black people couldn't have done that. They'd be dead. Yeah, those weren't black people doing that. Burnt down the 7-Eleven in St. Louis where we all go. That wasn't black people who did that. They had one white guy out there in the hood. Those people with black hoods on. Black people don't operate like that. We don't hide behind hoods. Those were white people doing that. Black people would have known not to burn down that 7-Eleven. That was over there on not far from the post office. About a block from the post office. The main post office downtown St. Louis. Black people would have known that that's a staple in the community. With no black person that burnt that down. Now there's nothing sitting there. Now, see, they're talking about, like now they're talking about Antifa. They sound so stupid. Antifa just means anti-fascist. And it's not a group, it's an ideology. Like they talk about the Illuminati. What is the Illuminati? No one can show you. Same way with Antifa. But you say you're for democracy. Anyone who's for democracy should be anti-fascist. But the Democrats won't answer them like that. Trying to be good guys. You can't be good guys with bad guys. But I'm not gonna hold you long tonight. But think about what I said, cause see, black men can't keep upholding black women talking good about you, and still dealing with it, even though most of you are overweight. And then you turn around and want to talk about him so bad all the time. That's what you did during the Million Man March speeches. That should just let men. Well, it wouldn't have done no good to just let men talk. They were talking just as bad as the women because they've been brought up under feminism. Feminism tear down masculinity, call it toxic. They promote homosexuality, and that's what they're doing. That's what the Democratic Party is doing. It's been overran by feminists, by the feminist movement. And if they keep it up, they're gonna lose just about everyone. I know these two feminist white women who has a podcast. They usually have some good information. But one thing I don't like that they do. Every time a man does something that they don't like, they tie it to his manhood. Which most feminists do. They can't help it. They're gonna promote homosexuals and put down masculine men. Masculinity is toxic. But when a woman displays masculine traits, she's strong and independent. The one who shouldn't be masculine is praised, and the one who should be and is masculine get torn down for it. Well, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here, but thanks for tuning in to No More Water. For my intro is playing. Thank you for tuning in to No More Water. Fire next time. I'm Larry Duncan Allen, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.